Hello everyone and welcome back to our CADvent calendar, and we're back on Autodesk Revit today looking at editing and selecting, or even selecting and editing. So let's just jump straight in as not to waste any time. And what we're going to do is have the file that we used last time already open and ready to go. So first things first, making selections. Really straightforward. This the same as you're doing anything else. Just use your mouse with your left mouse button. But we've got a few different options available to us. So as we already did when we created our layers and our grids, levels and grids, just go and hover over something and it will pre-select. You'll get this kind of nice blue shading when you're hovered over something. And then click your mouse. By clicking your mouse, when you're hovering over something, it will make that selection. Which is great. If you hold down the Control key on your keyboard, you will see a little plus appear next to your mouse cursor. I've just noted for the first time that the mouse cursor gets a little bit longer. How exciting is that? Every day's a school day. So if we select our wall, hold down Control, we can then make multiple selections. If you want to remove something from the selection, you can hold down Shift, which is the little up arrow, and we can click the same components again to deselect them. So Control adds, Shift deselects. We can also use a loop selection. No, that's not the right word. It's not loop selection. The words avoided me. What is it? I don't know what it's called. I'm going to call it loop selection. Let's go with that. Let's start a new trend. Hover over a wall, and these walls are all connected. So by hovering over them, I can press the Tab key on your keyboard. I'm actually going to go and grab the GoPro for this, because it will help you to see what it is that we are looking at. So let's just bring on the overlay at the bottom here. And let me go and show you the Tab key. It's this one, just here. This is really difficult because I'm looking at my screen whilst looking at my keyboard, whilst looking at the GoPro screen, whilst looking at what I'm recording to see if I've got this right. But yes, this is the Tab key. And what you need to do with your mouse hovered over the object, you just need to press it, not hold it down. If you hold it down, Revit's going to have a disco. It's not Christmas party time yet. Just press it once. That will select the entire chain. That's the word I was looking for. Chain selection. It will select the whole chain of walls. Press it again, individual wall. Press it again, chain of walls. If you then click your mouse, that allows you to select the entire loop of walls. I use it again, chain of walls. So that tab selection is really, really useful. It allows you to go in and really cycle between what you've got selected. The other thing that we can do is multi-select with windows. So if we take these two here, if I click my mouse and hold down the mouse button and drag left to right, I get a solid line box appearing, a selection box. But you'll notice it's not actually selecting anything until I get to the lower right-hand corner. Because when I drag a selection box from left to right, it will only select objects fully enclosed, absolutely fully enclosed within the box, not partly enclosed. At this point in time, it's just this little wall here that's fully enclosed. However, if I drag the same window right to left, it will select anything that the window touches. Using those methods, it becomes very easy to go ahead and select what it is that you're wanting to select very accurately. Single selection, chain selection with Tab, multiple selection with Control, deselect with Shift, and then right to left, anything the window touches, left to right, only objects fully enclosed. We can use those selections alongside modification tools. And again, the idea of these videos is just short and sweet, quick and snappy. So let's show you some quick modification tools so you see how they work. When you select something, you will see the modification toolbar is displayed. With the modification toolbar displayed, we can align, offset, mirror, split, copy, rotate, and trim. Looking through those all in turn really quickly. We want to align this wall with the plasterboard on this wall. Go to Modify, Align, choose first what you are aligning to. Don't be afraid to zoom right in. If you can't select the right line, use Tab to cycle through them. Click this piece of plasterboard. We are aligning it to this piece of plasterboard. Revit's going to give us an error saying that the lines overlap. We've got walls clashing. We can then start to use things like Trim Extend. So use Trim Extend single element to trim using this line, this wall. You click on the parts of the walls that you want to keep. The same functionality is true for ductwork and piping. Let me select this wall, right click it and say Create Similar. And let me just draw a couple of placeholder walls. One here, one here, one here, one here, and one here. Firstly, trim to corner. Select Trim to Corner, click two components, it will make a corner out of them. Click two components, it will trim to a corner. We can also multiple trim extend, choose where you're extending to, and select your components in turn. You can do the same thing with a trim rather than an extend. If we grab all of these, let's trim to corner there and there. And let's grab multiple trim and extend. There's my reference point, keeping that bit and that bit. Really straightforward and really a pleasure to use. Just make sure you click the parts of the walls that you want to keep, which is the opposite to something like AutoCAD. It'll frustrate you for a couple of days, but you'll soon get used to it. Offsetting allows us to grab a bunch of walls, individually offset them, or offset them with a chain selection by pressing Tab first. We have the ability of mirroring, so I could mirror these two walls around an existing line being the center line of this wall. I could mirror this wall around the existing, or sorry, the non-existing line here to here, and it will mirror that wall. I could then use Trim to Corner and delete as necessary. All of these tools we will use in more detail as we continue through the course, but I wanted to very briefly talk you through making selections and starting to edit. Go ahead and start having a little practice on your own. Stay in this file, open to existing file, create some walls, create some ductwork, create some pipe work, and practice with the modification tools until you are confident in making selections, deselecting, multi-selecting, chain selecting, and using the different types of tools that appear on the Modify selection box. Join us again in a couple of days, where once again we're going to be inside of Autodesk Revit, and we're going to look at building up our model even more. We've looked at the user interface, we've looked at navigating, we've looked at creating levels, we've looked at modeling walls, and we've now looked at how we can start manipulating and editing things that we have on the screen. The next thing we're going to look at is creating floors and other slabs inside of Revit. So join us then. Until then, take care. See you soon. Bye-bye.